Santos likes to put pressure. He likes to walk forward, and he likes to really just put it on you, man. He has a plethora of different attacks. He has good striking. John Castañeda, on the other hand, also likes to move forward, corral you up against the cage, right? Really take his time, and when he explodes, it might take him a little while. It might take him a round and a half, 2 rounds, but when he starts going, he's going to use the same strike over and over and over again, same couple combos. But then in the beginning, they're going to be tapping the guard. It's not going to be effective. Come a round and a half, 2 rounds. Oh, that's connecting now. Oh, shit, that kind of stings a little bit. Oh, and then guess what? I'm going to take you down. I got superior wrestling and grappling than you. Now, is that the case against Daniel Santos? I don't know. We can maybe argue back and forth about that. But like I said, John Castañeda is very severely underrated in my opinion, and I think he can do some damage here. The only question that I have about it is how quickly can he do it? And we haven't seen him really in a little minute. So it's like, how are we feeling, right? Tell me about Daniel Santos, though. What can you tell me about Santos that is going to make this match incredibly intriguing versus a very game John Castañeda?
I think the biggest thing that kind of makes the draw for Daniel Santos is he has very unassuming power. You look at the guy, 140, or this is a catchweight, 140 pounds, usually fighting at 135, but they're very skinnier type of guys. We always talk about in the heavyweight, some dudes walking around with tree trunks. They got all the power in the world. Daniel Santos, very skinny legs, but this dude, you can see it in his back. He's been a born fighter, He has the natural power in him, and this dude sits down on a lot of punches and swings for the fences. So at that same point, this is what makes it an interesting fight for Castañeda. Like you said, Derek, very patient, but also very explosive. And if he can explode into one of those heavy punches that Santos throwing around, Santos catches him, we can see a knockout coming out of nowhere for Santos. The thing with Santos, though, he has very heavy feet because of that power. He's sitting down. Like I said, his feet stay a little sturdy. That gives Castañeda an even better time to see that, to plant his feet, actually drive through the hips, get a takedown, working for Castañeda, that win as well. This is a very interesting fight to see how the X's and O's play out, man. If you're Santos, you got to be on the front foot because this, even though he's willing to engage in, the grappling, in the clinch battle, Santos wants to keep this one on the feet and stand and bang and get it where he feels most comfortable leading the dance. Do you think Castañeda takes the backward step, takes the passenger seat, and kind of deals with it that way, or is he going to be looking to drive the entire fight?
I like Castañeda because he always is on the front foot, but I do think he might have learned a thing or two from Miles John in his last fight and saying, okay, because Castañeda got caught a bunch of times just coming in, and because Miles Johns was like, come on in, and I'm going to explode, and I'm going to hit you with some, you know what I'm saying, and then I'm going to make you back up. If he could do that to Santos, I think he could really, really give the man some problems, right? Because once you give him that first crack, you're not going to want to really be jumping up in front of him anymore. Now you're going to be taking a step back, and now he can implement his game plan. Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. I can't tell the future. But I think that in terms of like a John Castañeda style of fight, I mean, it's not the most uncommon thing that you're going to see here in the world. Now, if you had to make it definitively, though, man, yeah, Santos got the power. Castañeda's a little more technical, but he got power too. Who's the better striker overall?
Ooh, better striker. Man, I would say Castañeda just because he's a little bit more patient. Santos, though, like I said, the power, what I like about Santos's power is he'll hit you with the fourth punch that you didn't see coming, and the combo's smooth, and that fourth one is the one that really knocks your block off. But I feel like Castañeda still has this explosive but smooth striking that I like seeing a lot more. What about you?
Yeah, no, I got to go Castañeda here overall. Santos, though, he's a very hyped up prospect, man. A lot of people like Willie Cat, bro. This dude has got a lot of hype behind him, and people know what he's capable of. He just has to show it in the big show. He just hasn't had enough time to do it, personally, I think. I think this dude is as game as ever. So I guess my final thing right here, what does it mean to you that on Tapology, man? Tapology doesn't really mean anything for the people voting. Anybody can vote, right? 90% of people think Castañeda is going to win, but 64% of those 90%, I know that we're doing weird math here, they all think it's going to happen via decision. So they're thinking that nobody really is going to get knocked out here. It's really going to go to that decision poll. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily, simply because if you look at the over and under, it's 2.5 rounds, right? The minus 145 is not for the over. It's for the under. Somebody is probably going to get hurt, get going to sleep. But then again, you could have said the same thing about the Miles Johns fight, right? Yeah, he got submitted late third round, but it's like, shouldn't it have been a little more action-packed in the beginning? Yeah, it just wasn't. So power guy versus power guy, we might see the stalemate. So how do you see it going down?
Man, when I was thinking of this fight, breaking this fight down earlier, man, looking at all the the film and coverage of everybody, I can see why this is a plus 115 for the decision, at least for Castañeda. The smaller guys, no one's ever really thinking knockout. They both have good grappling, both can submit people. There's a lot of technical stuff that can go in this fight, but I think the power is going to be another thing, man. I'm rocking with that plus 450 TKO route on Castañeda.
Okay.
I think we're going to see somebody snoring. We're going to see somebody put to sleep, especially if both fighters are able to tag each other up. I'm going round 3, early round 3, Castañeda TKO.
Okay, so if it's early round 3, that's still going to be the under on there for the TKO. So we'll give that one to you, man. And it's like, I want to be aggressive too. I want to sit here and say, nah, someone's getting knocked out for sure, especially with 2 power fighters. But the more that I think about it, and the more that I know that John Castañeda could pick and choose his spots very much. We got a lot of these strikers here who they're very, very patient. They're very tactical in their approach. I'll rock with the decision, man, just to kind of switch it up right here. But I'm going to be very upset if it does come down to a TKO and we're like, man, that's exactly what we were talking about. We can see it happening. But the odds makers think it's going to happen, so we'll see what happens there. But we both like Castañeda here. Santos is good though, man. This is going to be a fun fight. Do not count this dude out. I mean, plus 170 when you only got like 11 fights on your record. John Castañeda got like 25, 23, something like that. I'm just saying, bro.